What's going on, guys? It's Will Clark from Blood of the Prophets, and I'd like to welcome you to episode number 1 of our Blood of the Prophets gear series. And I'd like to start by covering the drum side of things. But before we get into that, I'd like to thank everybody for the support that we've had for this album, The Stars of the Sky Hid From Me. That's been out for coming up to a year next month. And it's been doing well, reviewed well, received well, so thank you all 1,000 times. As many of you know, I've been laid up with an injury for the past 7 months, so I haven't been able to be able to do anything much with the album. And during that time, we've actually gotten to start writing and nearly complete another album, which is great because normally it takes us forever. And I got to travel a little bit. I had the pleasure of going to Chicago and taking part in the Chicago Drum Show that they hold there annually. I got to visit companies that have stood behind us as Blood of the Prophets and me as an artist for many years. One of them being the Head Drumsticks, and the other being Holloman Custom Drums, right here out of Toledo, Ohio. They do great work. I've been on their drums for 8 years, and I absolutely love the company and the people involved. I went and I did an interview with them at the show, so hopefully you guys enjoy this interview, and hopefully it reaches the gear nerds like us. And if you have any questions on anything, drop them in the comments below.
We're here with Holloman Custom Drums, based out of Toledo, Ohio. I personally love the company, and I know things about them, but not everybody does. So we like to actually educate some people in here. So I'm going to ask Robbie a couple questions about the product, what's it got to offer, some of the builds. So Robbie, of course, you had a long time in Toledo. How long have you guys been building drums?
About 10 years now.
About 10 years. And what kind of got you in here?
Well, actually, when I was getting ready to go to college, my dad, I asked him to give me a snare drum, and he said, well, let's just build one. So we built one, and then I took it to the drum shop that I was working at the time, and a couple customers started asking about it, and then next thing you know, they wanted us to build something, so we went from there.
You remember what your first build was?
5.5 by 14 maple snare drum.
Now, you took a different approach to building it. It's kind of go over what was some of the earlier process. How did you build it? I mean, it wasn't plies in theory.
So we've never built a ply shell. We've only built stave and segmented. This was a stave shell at the time, so it's built like a barrel. And back then we were actually hand carving them on a lathe to get them to come down to size. Now we got it a little bit more fine-tuned with machines and different things. But
so you would spend maybe about, like say you're doing a barrel or a stave, so it's segments. So you have one segment of wood, another segment, one segment of glue. So that means you're not stacking them in. So you're using less glue, and the snare's going to be more resonant. Okay. So when you were trying to figure out how to do that on the lathe, about how many hours would it take to do, let's say, some of your early build snares, like let's say 6.5 by 13 of, let's say, maple.
the early ones, it took a while because it was just such a huge learning curve to get the exact size, the exact outer edge, and then you didn't want to get too thin, so there was a lot of sanding involved too, not just actually chiseling away on the lathe. Now we've got it fine-tuned where we're working with more of a machine. We're not doing it all by hand on a lathe anymore. So now we could actually make all of we're making a drum set, for instance, we can make each tom-tom the same thickness, so it's going to be tuned easily, as opposed to when we did everything by hand, you weren't guaranteed to get everything the exact same thickness or
in short, if you want to look at the science of it, you're able to get a more consistent bearing edge.
Yeah.
So, like you explained to me, if somebody had listened to a drum and said, oh, I want that drum because they like the characteristics of it, obviously every drum's going to sound different because of wood densities and what the wood's gone through, but now you'll get something that comes close that can be tuned similarly just because of the geometry.
Yeah.
the new process allows you to perfect the sound. You guys have built snares for a long time. I own 3 of them. I love them. This is probably the only time I've bought more than one snare, so I'm putting that out there. Trying to get into kits.
Yeah.
And in front of us, we have a couple. Now this one, how would you describe this?
This is a pop kit. It's all segmented mahogany. It's a 12, 14, 18 with a 14-inch snare. Very jazzy, but the thing is with it being segmented and applied, you can tune it super low and super high. So you can actually rock out on this thing too.
So with the mahogany, the characteristics of mahogany versus, let's say, if somebody wanted to do this kit in a church, but they were playing smaller club setting, birch can sometimes be a little bit cold, cut a little hard.
Yeah.
Mahogany, you say generally is warmer.
Yeah, it's more of that vintage, warm sound. It's kind of what we were going after with this kit. We wanted to kind of trap that, early 50s, 60s era.
I've always felt that mahogany it's been almost as warm as maple, but it's had more than a cat.
Yeah, I feel that.
And then this kit that we have to the right of us here,
that's maple. That's a stage configuration. It's a 10, 13-inch board, 13-inch snare drum, and 20-inch bass drum. So the big real compact size is really easy to maneuver. So that way, if you're playing in a small venue, you can get it in there real nice and compact. If you have the right cases, you can actually get your entire drum set in 2 loads.
okay, that's nice. This would be kind of the, me and the metal drummer got big kits, so I need a van or a truck bed. That can go right in your car.
That can fit in the back seat of your car.
Yeah, you get right to the gig. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
One and done. and then you change over time too. So let's say you're around the drummers that are particular about getting their stuff tuned, and even when you get on stage, maybe tuning it again because of different variables. This will save you the time where you can actually spend the time to do that. I played this kit, I heard it. It's got a great tone, the kick, tiny, but it's extremely punchy. And my ear loves a punchy drum. The toms, very versatile with a shallow size like that, but the way that the density of it, I've noticed that you're able to, when you're playing it, depending on how you tune it, it's going to make the drum seem huge and open, or you can make it really tight and super responsive. These are really, really good low volume drums. They're ultra responsive, and then if you play them hard or heavy, they can still cut through a mix and not choke up. Now here we have snare drum row.
The first one we have is an ash mahogany combination. It's actually half stage and half segmented.
Okay.
The mahogany is segmented.
And the mahogany here, you're saying this is segmented here?
Yes.
Okay, and then everything vertical here.
Yep.
Stays. Okay. And is that going to be? Are these the same?
This is actually birch and mahogany. Same size, different throw off though. This is actually a Nickelworks throw off.
Okay.
Very similar to the Dunnett R4, very smooth. It doesn't spin like the Dunnett. The trick is a multi-position. But actually the way we drill all of our drums, you can always put a trick on our drums.
Okay.
So if you didn't like this particular throw off, we can swap it out. It's not a problem at all.
Now this one I thought was interesting here. And this is a swirl. And was it maple and cherry wood swirl?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have the maple on top?
Maple on top.
And the cherry wood at the bottom. And I played this and I kind of got that Bonham snare type vibe. It's very, very versatile. It's super open. It's got a lot of body, it's got a lot of natural reverb to it. Depending on your head choice, you can choke it up. You can make it a little fatter, a little poppier. But a snare like this, with its depth, is something that you're going to want to let breathe and actually let it do its job. I always felt like this snare would be super good in a rock setting, but if you were to throw, say, a rag or a sheet or something over it, it would be super good in the gospel or like a pop setting where you need that really tight, almost synthetic sound snare. But this one I thought was super interesting. The size on this is
14 by 6.5.
14 by 6.5. I like 6.5 depth. I'm generally a 13-inch guy, but this particular drum here, this works.
And we've got our window pane. That's what we call it. It's a maple and walnut. Satin finished. This has got the Dunnet R7 throw off on it, so it's a multi-position throw off. This is a 14 by 6. Down here we have a maple birch mahogany combo shell. So it's got the best of all three worlds. It's got maple, birch, and mahogany, so it can cut through, but it's still going to stay warm. And then here we have our Holy Toledo snare drum. It's all cherry, and it's got curly ash cross going through it. That is not a veneer. That is all the way through the shell.
You don't really see any seams. When you get up close, it doesn't look dirty. There's no glaring problems with it. It's smooth, and you would almost think that it was ply, but it's put together so well, and they've taken the time to actually make sure these edges are precise where it blends together. And to sit there and to have the attention to detail to do something like this, you know, if you actually look at this, it's like 5 or 6 different pieces that it takes just to encase or enclose the cross there. And then that goes all the way through, so that's not something that is just painted or, you know, something that's embedded in there. That's a part of the drum. But this one would be great for a gospel setting, church setting, rock setting, metal setting. I mean, it's tight, it's responsive, it's quick. Now this little one that we have here on the spinner,
That's another segmented drum. It's birch, mahogany, curly ash, and then it goes back to mahogany and birch.
So when he's saying segments here, it's not like the big long strips that he's saying. The segments are actually going to be smaller blocks, and they're stacked and staggered and offset. Is there a different characteristic in terms of sound when you come to segment versus?
Nothing that I can tell. I haven't heard anybody say anything any differently either. You do add more glue to it, but you're still cutting a ton of glue out from applied shell.
What about weight?
It does add a little bit more weight to it. When you start especially adding different hybrids in, you know, obviously denser woods are going to weigh a lot more.
5 by 14 amp?
5.5 by 14 maple.
I fell in love with this one. This one definitely it's fast. The note's very short, but if you open up the head, it will ring out in a good way. But if you tighten it you're tuning it how it's supposed to be tuned, there's really you can't go wrong with it. It's got a nice attack to it. Now the company isn't just getting into kits, snares, things of the sort, but they're actually doing a little bit of accessories here. Wood hoops. And holding this thing's pretty smooth.
Yeah. Yeah, these are sweet hoops. They're all white oak. So generally on the market you'll find maple hoops, which you play with a hickory stick. They don't last as long. You're gonna get beat up. We use oak specifically because it's more dense, so it's a lot more durable than the maple. Since it's a denser wood than hickory, they tend to last a lot longer.
How these are no drill finish on them.
Yeah, that's the raw shell itself. Obviously with a finish and a bearing edge on it. Just some examples for people to see like what the actual drum looks like without the hardware on it.
And you can see the segment here. All down, I don't know if you can really see the lines here. But the way that they finish these, you can barely see those unless you're right up on it. But it's super clean. The bearing edge itself. Okay, so your 45 degree standard, it works. There's a reason why 45 is so popular. And all of them they're consistent.
Yeah, they're all double 45s. We do other ones though. If a customer requests it, we'll do a 35 or we'll do a baseball bat edge. Just 9 times out of 10 people want the double 45.
Well, if you have any other questions, be sure to check them out. Holloman Custom Drums, you can find them on Facebook, you can find them online. If you have any other particular questions or requests, hit up Rob at HollomanCustoms.com.
Well, that's a wrap for this one, but thank you all for watching. Hopefully a Holloman Custom Drum finds a spot in your home. And remember, you can come check them out on their Facebook at Holloman Custom Drums, on Instagram, Holloman_custom_drums. And you can also check them out on this album. Buy it. You know you wanna.